Is NASA hiding aliens, faking space travel, or lying about the shape of the Earth? For decades, they've been the #1 target for conspiracy theories. And let's be honest, it's easy to see why. They're a government agency that controls almost all the images we see from space. You and I can't just hop on a rocket and check for ourselves. And with a history of governments not always telling the truth, a little suspicion feels reasonable, right? But is that suspicion justified, or is there something else going on? The internet has completely changed how we learn about science. Instead of textbooks, we have TikToks. Instead of scientific journals, we have YouTube videos and forums. The problem is, algorithms don't reward accuracy, they reward engagement. A wild, shocking claim will always travel faster than a careful, nuanced explanation. Suddenly, a confident speaker with a good camera is more believable than a scientist with decades of credentials. We get trapped in echo chambers where the same unverified claims are repeated until they feel like facts. Just because you've been exposed to an idea 1,000 times, does UNT mean you're an expert on it? So let's tackle the biggest piece of evidence: the photos. People say those space pictures look fake. They're clearly edited, and they're right about one thing: the images are processed. But editing isn't the same as deception. The raw data from telescopes like Hubble or Webb isn't a pretty JPEG. It's layers of information, often captured in light spectrums our eyes can't see, like infrared or ultraviolet. Scientists assign colors to these different layers to make the data visible and understandable. That's why a nebula might be shown in vibrant pinks and blues. Those colors represent different chemical elements, not what you'd see with your naked eye. It's a data visualization, not a fake photo. Your phone camera can't do that, but that doesn't mean the science is a lie. This leads to the classic question: if the moon landing was real, why are there no stars in the photos? This one sounds like a huge gotcha, but the answer is surprisingly simple photography. Think about taking a picture of a friend at night with a bright street lamp behind them. To get your friend properly exposed, and not just a dark silhouette, your camera's shutter speed has to be fast and the aperture small. This setting captures the bright foreground perfectly, but it's too fast to capture the faint light from the distant stars. The lunar surface, lit by the full power of the sun, is incredibly bright. The astronauts in their white suits were even brighter. The cameras were set to capture them, not the dim stars in the background. It's not a conspiracy, it's just how cameras work. You can literally try this yourself in your backyard. Okay, what about live video? If we can stream 4K video games from across the world, why can't we get a 24/7 crystal clear 4,000 live feed from the moon or Mars? This is where Hollywood expectations clash with the laws of physics. First, bandwidth. Sending data across hundreds of thousands or millions of miles is not like your home Wi-Fi. The connection is slow and has significant delays. A signal to Mars can take over 20 minutes one way. Second, power. A high bandwidth transmitter needs a lot of energy, which is a precious resource on a spacecraft running on solar panels or limited batteries. Finally, the hardware itself is constantly bombarded by cosmic radiation, which can fry sensitive high-tech electronics. The miracle we get the data, we do. Then there's the CGI argument. It's all just computer graphics. Yes, NASA uses CGI, but not in the way you think. When they release an animation of a black hole swallowing a star, that's not presented as real footage. It's a scientific visualization, animation based on mathematical models and all the data we have. It's a tool to help explain a concept that's impossible to film directly. It's the difference between a weather map animation showing a hurricane S-path and a live video of the storm. The animation explains the science. It doesn't try to replace the evidence. The internet often blurs this line, presenting a simulation as a fraudulent attempt to fake reality. And what about the biggest conspiracy of all, the flat Earth? People ask, why won't NASA just prove the Earth is round? Here's the thing, they don't have to. Science already proved it centuries ago. Today, thousands of independent sources confirm it every single day. Every airline pilot navigates a globe. Every GPS satellite, including the ones your phone uses, operates on a model of a spherical Earth. Private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin spend billions of their own money, and their math only works if the Earth is round. Science works completely independently of NASA. If NASA disappeared tomorrow, the Earth would still be a globe. So why do these secrets feel more believable than the often boring truth? Our brains are wired to find patterns and meaning. A story about a massive, hidden conspiracy provides a simple, satisfying answer to a complex world. Believing you're one of the few who knows the truth gives you a sense of control and community. It's emotionally more rewarding to believe in a grand deception than to accept the complicated, and sometimes unsatisfying reality of scientific limits and processes. This isn't about intelligence, it's about human psychology. To be clear, NASA is far from perfect. They've made huge mistakes. They lost the Mars Climate Orbiter because of a simple metric to imperial conversion error. They've had budget failures and missions that didn't work. But the key difference is they admit it. These failures are studied and published, so they won't happen again. This is where we see the difference between healthy skepticism and blind distrust. Skepticism demands evidence. Science is built on skepticism. Every new theory is rigorously tested. Distrust assumes deception from the start and rejects any evidence that contradicts that belief. Questioning science is how we make progress. Rejecting all evidence isn't questioning, it's denial. And who actually checks NASA's work? They aren't operating in a vacuum. The European Space Agency, Russia's Roscosmos, China's CNSA, and space agencies from Japan, India, and more are all watching. They have their own satellites, their own telescopes, and their own scientists. On top of that, thousands of universities, independent observatories, and even amateur astronomers with powerful backyard telescopes regularly track satellites and observe the same celestial objects. If NASA was faking images of Jupiter, all of these other groups would know. Honestly, NASA would be the worst organization in the world to try and pull off a global conspiracy. Think about it. We're talking about an organization with tens of thousands of employees, plus contractors, academics, and international partners. The idea that hundreds of thousands of people, across multiple generations and dozens of countries, could all keep the same massive secret without a single credible whistleblower ever coming forward with proof. It defies all logic. The larger a conspiracy, the more certain it is to leak. What's more convincing is that NASA is very open about what it does, no. They freely admit they don't understand dark matter or dark energy, which make up 95% of the universe. They don't have a definitive answer for what happened before the Big Bang. Science is a process of discovery, filled with more questions than answers. Admitting ignorance isn't a sign of weakness. It's the foundation of credible scientific inquiry. The core of the problem is that science loses its nuance online. Complex topics get oversimplified into clickbait headlines. Concepts are mistranslated, short clips are taken out of context to mean the opposite of what was intended. The internet is a machine built for simple, viral ideas, and science is rarely simple. So this brings us back to the big question. What do you think? Is NASA hiding something? Or is the internet misunderstanding science? Maybe the truth isn't hidden in some secret file. Maybe it's just complicated. Comment your thoughts below.